India's smallest union territory, Lakshadweep, is an archipelago consisting of 36 islands with an area of 32 square kilometers. It is a uni-district union territory and comprises of 12 atolls, 3 reefs, 5 submerged banks and 10 inhabited islands. Located in the southwestern region and more than 300 kilometers away from the mainland, Lakshadweep means 1 lakh islands in Malayalam, the most spoken language in the territory. According to the census of 2011, its population is more than 64,000. Out of that, 99% are Muslims and most of them are fishermen. Kavarati serves as the capital of the Union Territory and the region comes under the jurisdiction of Kerala High Court. Lakshadweep, no doubt, is unique in its own and stands out from other Indian states and Union territories. Now, who looks after the well-being of Lakshadweep and its inhabitants? Lakshadweep comes under the direct influence of the central government and is governed by an administrator. The governance was perfect as the Lakshadweep administration only appointed people with civil service backgrounds like IPS and IAS as an administrator. But things took a steep curve during late 2020. The sitting administrator Dineshwar Sharma passed away and government appointed Praful Patel to take charge. Praful Patel is a close associate of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and a former BJP leader who served as the Home Minister of Gujarat. He has previously been the administrator of the Union Territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Mr. Praful changed the existing SOP norms where earlier people had to quarantine 7 days before going to Lakshadweep and 7 days in Lakshadweep. Even during the first wave of COVID-19, there were no positive cases that had been reported. This SOP protected people of Lakshadweep from COVID. But as Mr. Patel came over, this SOP was removed by him, giving a spike in the reported COVID cases up to 6,000 a day and an alarming increase in death tolls. Imagine how devastating it could be. Is this not an interference? Is collapsing health not enough evidence? Panchayat regulation has taken away a lot of power which were exercised by the Panchayat Raj system. The authority of major departments like education, health, farming and animal husbandry have been transferred to the administrator and the distribution of funds to local self-government institutions is curtailed. This has resulted in the expulsion of several nurses and teachers, leading to massive loss of jobs. There has also been the stopping of the Anganwadi system. What happens when your jobs are insecure? What happens when your earnings stop all at once? His administration had passed the Gunda Act, given that the Dweep has the least crime rate. It's often conspired as a move to resist any protest or resistance by the people. A place with the least number of crimes and with deserted jails and police stations. It is not something that you get to see elsewhere. Oppressing nurses who protested for a pay rise and destroying sheds used by the fishermen communities who used it to store their boats and tools have become very common because of this act. The draft Lakshadweep Development Authority Regulation 2021 is also problematic. It proposes to change the existing land ownership and usage in Lakshadweep by giving sweeping, arbitrary, unchecked powers to the government to directly interfere with an islander's right to possess and retain their property. Eventually, government would become the sole authority to decide on people's property right. This act ensures a violation of people's right over their own land. Is this how human rights are protected? Is India as incredible as you thought? As a fundamental country, people of India possess the right to eat anything they want, but under his scrutiny, according to Section 8 of the draft Lakshadweep Animal Preservation Regulation of 2021, it is prohibited to buy or sell beef products. The meat portion from midday meals for school kids has also been removed. The people who are working in animal husbandry are going to be jobless due to this, because the animal husbandry of Lakshadweep has been given to private multinationals. Where are the fundamental rights here? What if it were you suffering this blatant injustice? There has been a lot of reforms under the name of tourism promotions. New reforms to alcohol policy and construction policies on resorts go against the guidelines put forward by the Justice R.V. Ravindran Committee, the committee in charge of evaluating Integrated Island Regulation Plan or the IIMP by the Supreme Court of India. Under new development scheme, they are bringing up the roads which can break the people's houses where they are living without any boundaries. Won't this take away the livelihood of people? Where do you go when you're homeless in your own homeland? The draft Lakshadweep Panchayat Regulation 2021 denies any candidate with more than 2 children from entering fair elections. Is India really a democracy? How does number of children affect the governance of this democracy? The government's ruthless approach to this peaceful and beautiful island is pretty heartbreaking. It is pure destruction of humanity. Today we stand united against the atrocities that are taking place in these lands, and we fight till the necessary atonement is paid by the administration for their actions. If we keep quiet, we will lose the beauty and culture of Lakshadweep. Let us not blind ourselves to the injustice and callous actions of the government. So, join this campaign and let's put an end to these fascist agendas. Let our voices be heard, let the tyranny end, and let our protest prevail. Save Lakshadweep, stand with Lakshadweep.